I love climbing trees. I like to look from the top view so I can see everything that's happening. I like Wonder Woman now, so I'm gonna put her in the corner. I like, she fell on her face. I need her to be like this.
I had bruises on my chest to the point where I stopped producing milk for 24 hours.
Wow.
And Evie wouldn't take bottles. And all I could do was listen to her cry and not be able to feed her. I was in a relationship for 10 years that was really difficult. It was unhealthy, it was abusive.
I have OCD, so everything here has to be perfect, just so you know. That's why I'm taking so long.
You can take as long as you want.
Really?
It's your creation.
My mom would be by me too.
She would be next to you.
Yeah. And Kiona's on the other side. I was always really shy because of my PTSD and stuff like that. And the bus driver, she gave me this turtle to hold on to be my bus buddy. But I always still bring it on the bus. And he's really special to me because she knew I needed him. She got him in China.
Sounds really special.
Saving Grace's therapy program, it's pretty unique in that we've got all kinds of therapy for kids. We have sand tray, we have art therapy, bibliotherapy, we've got a support group for kids. And kids need those choices. And it doesn't have to be with words. It can be through play. It can be through getting figures in a sand tray that are symbolic of what's going on in their life without them ever actually really having to say anything.
The bruises were from my ankles all the way up. You know, they were on my chest and they were on my arms.
You felt like you had to make up an excuse about how it happened.
Yeah.
So falling down
I
the
told the
stairs.
nurses that I fell down the stairs. You know, they all had this look on their face like they knew, but I still didn't say anything.
What's it like now? Now that you can tell the whole story, now that you can tell the details of it to someone else, knowing what you know now in that it wasn't your fault.
Yeah.
What's that like?
It's liberating. I was convinced that a lot of the times it was my fault and that if I could only change and the harder I would try to change for him and keep him from getting angry at me, you know, more things would come up that I would have to change.
It's a big job.
It is. It is. And now I can just be myself.
Yeah.
And just be loved for who I am.
That's right.
You know?
When I first met the kids, Dylan and Evie was introverted. She just, like a turtle, went into her shell and, you know, she would go to art or reading, be in her head. Growing up with an abusive childhood myself, I understand more about when a person tells someone, you're stupid every day. You know, you hear that every day, multiple times a day, for most of your life. That's exactly what you're gonna think. I'm stupid.
Sometimes I'll wake up with my eyes open, but I'm still asleep. And I'm reacting to things that aren't there. Now I'm with someone who kind of gets it, and he's really understanding, and he will just like hold me.
When she first explained to me that she had stayed in an abuse shelter, I was a little taken aback. Like, she seemed like a confident, strong woman to me, so I couldn't understand how or why something like that would happen to a person like her.
It was scary. It was scary. So we stayed at Saving Grace for 3 months before we moved into our own apartment. And we still live in that same apartment. I mean, you wouldn't think that you would grieve over an abusive relationship, but you do. Because you grieve over the fantasy, the illusion that you build up in your mind of this home and this love and this relationship that's never actually existed. But the illusion of it that you hold on to and the hope that it will be like that someday.
She has done so much work, so much work. We all have, but she mostly her, to better the situation as a whole, not just for herself, but for all of us involved. After working with Mary's Place for as long as we did, the kids knew that Mary's Place staff won't let anything happen to them, because not only did they make the kids feel safe, but they educated their father on how to be a parent. So not only do the kids get that relationship back with their father, but he's more educated and has more patience.
You know, I have a life partner that we share everything with, but there's stuff that I wouldn't go into detail and explain to him, like what certain things looked like and felt like. That Dara's the only one I could say that to, you know? So, and I think just verbalizing it and getting it out and having someone else hear it too helps with that healing process, because it's like, okay, these things did happen, and someone else knows, and they validate the fact that it shouldn't have happened to you, that these things shouldn't happen to anybody, you know? So, I don't know. But yeah, it's helpful.
Saving Grace's therapy program, it's pretty unique in that, first and foremost, we're trauma-informed. And what that means is that we don't blame people, we don't ask them what's wrong with them, we ask them what's happened to you. We know how to create a safe place for them, and we know that that can take a long time, and that that's okay. The students are getting this really rich experience in a place that's really specific. Having gone through the Master's in Counseling program, we didn't learn anything specific to domestic violence or sexual assault. And what I've learned here is enormously important to serving that population. And I think it's a really specific therapy that you have to understand. And so they're getting that experience here. And then they're going out to the communities, establishing private practices or working at other agencies. And then they have that really rich wealth of information about how to really specifically serve survivors.
I really didn't know anything about Saving Grace at all until she explained to me what it was. And I was instantly interested. I was like, wow, what an organization, you know? I mean, there's not too many places like that in this world. There's not enough. Not only with the domestic violence shelter, but the counseling that she received, she's realized that she is better. She is worth it. She's amazing.
Oh.